Hello and welcome to the Bold Prediction Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chad. I am joined by the Ryans and Louis. All of you say hi.
Hello.
Hello there.
This is going to be an episode that shows how much I actually hate wrestling, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about that I'm not a fan of. We're going to be talking about Legends Night. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking about TLC as we do a quick recap on that. But before that, I want to talk about the women's division. More importantly, Charlotte Flair.
Oh, she's amazing.
This year, she won the Rumble, right? Looking back, probably the best choice. I admit that, probably the best choice. Goes to WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley for the NXT title and wins. Does anyone else think that was the right decision?
No.
Right. Then she holds it until June 7th. So she holds it for a couple of months and loses it to Io Shirai. And she didn't even take the pin. She lost it in a triple threat match. That title reign benefited no one but Charlotte. Before I carry on, I want to say that this is nothing against Charlotte. I think Charlotte's an amazing athlete, one of the best wrestlers in the world. I think she's amazing. It's just the booking of it, it's shocking. So she lost the title June 7th. And then on a recorded episode of Raw on June 17th, she faced Asuka for the title. 10 days later, she had a match for the Raw Women's Championship. And this happens all the time. She just gets championship opportunities out of the blue for no reason. Anyway, then she disappears for 6 months and comes back at TLC as Asuka's partner. Now, I've got a list of names here that it could have been instead. Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Naomi, Dana Brooke, Billie Kay, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, Mickie James, Tamina, Bianca Belair, Mandy Rose, Nikki Cross, even Sonya Deville. There's 14 names that it could have been. But they brought in Charlotte. And she's won, and she's now a Grand Slam champion or whatever. I think you could have made a massive storyline out of that, of her trying to find a partner to hold the championships with her, to find one that's on her level. Yeah, Asuka is on her level, but I think it's just sort of like, oh, here she is, and she's won. So she came back at TLC on Sunday, had a match on Raw, and has defended titles on SmackDown. So within the first week back, she's on all 3 shows already. I just think it's way too much Charlotte Flair. What do the rest of you think?
No, I agree.
I get where you're coming from.
I'll let Ryan go.
At first, when we first mentioned it in the CLC review, I were against you, not going to lie. But then I thought about it, and you look back and we'll use Shawn Michaels as an example, right? He came back in 2002, one of the greats. He won the world from his run from 2004 to 2010. He didn't actually hold one title, apart from the tag team championship, and that to me shows you can be this greatest of all time. You don't need the title. So I agree with you on that point. She's got the caliber behind her. She doesn't need a championship, and it was wasted. Someone else could have had it. I knew maybe Mandy Rose or someone like that could have benefited more from winning it, because you don't need the championships to be the greatest. As well as Undertaker, 3 world title reigns, and he's up there with the top 5 greatest of all times. I think they just want to push her because she's a Flair, get her up to that level of a dad, but it's not needed in these times.
I think that they want to get the 16 title reigns on her. She's like a dad. I'm hoping that when she gets to 16, 17, if they want to beat him, then they just calm it down and stop.
Yeah.
Because their title reigns have lasted like a week, a day.
Yeah, they're not long, are they? They're not sustained.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is the tag team, the women's tag titles. I think it's this year, the tag team titles have been in the same storyline as the Raw or SmackDown women's title all year, basically. And yeah, you can say, oh, but we're in a different time, and Sasha and Bayley carried the show, which they did, and Asuka, them 3 carried it. But all their names I mentioned haven't had time to shine. And Charlotte and Asuka defend the titles on SmackDown Christmas Day. And I'm not going to spoil who it is that they defend it against, but they don't defend it against the Riot Squad. They don't defend it against an actual team. Does anyone know the last time the Women's Tag Team Championships were defended at NXT?
Oh, was it the week after WrestleMania?
It was a little bit later than that.
A little bit later, because it was Sasha and Bayley, weren't it? I think
Sasha and Bayley, defended against the team of I think it was Tegan Knox and Chauncey Blackheart, 17th of June. They haven't been on NXT in 6 months. And now that Charlotte's got the title, it's the title that everybody wants. And it's like, why? Nobody's cared about it all year. And now as soon as Charlotte's got it, everyone's like, let's have a match with her.
I don't think anyone's cared about it since it came into existence, to be honest with you. Like at first it had its like mysterious, mystique about it, but then no one really cared about it. Just got forgotten about. No one really, like I say, they keep shoving it on the women's champions, so Asuka, Bayley, Charlotte.
We've had three women that have held it and held a women's championship at the same time, and there's only 2 championships. Like,
exactly.
It's shocking.
It's a joke. The tag team belt should be for those that don't get the chance in a normal women's match.
Use it as like a mid card.
Yeah. That top tier level of the championship of the women's division. Like, it's so like people like your Mandy Rose, your Sonya Deville's, even Lana's. I know she's not that great, but it gives her a bit more.
Well, it's like this year, the last few champions, we've had Charlotte and Asuka, a mixed match team. Nia and Shayna, a mixed match team. Sasha and Bayley, that one's fair enough. Then you've had like the Iconics, but they've split them up. You've had Alexa and Nikki Cross, they've split them up. Stick them on an NXT team and have them down there for the next year. Imagine giving it to the NXT and then having them defend it on a pay-per-view. It gets eyes on the product. I don't know, let's say Dakota Kai and her big bodyguard, Raquel Gonzalez, give it to them too. Have them come out with the Rumble and defend them against, I don't know, Shayna and Nia and have them win. Yeah. Like, that's how you make stars. And they're just not doing it. They're just sticking them on, here's 2 big names that haven't got a title, stick it on them. Or in this case, there's one big name that does have a title.
The thing is, I feel like they've only brought them in to show how equal the company is with women. They didn't need those titles. It was too soon. I think they did it just to get more eyes on the product. Well, first time ever having tag team. Oh, look at us. We're evolving. We're in the modern world. We're a modern company. And it just hasn't worked.
No.
Just hasn't worked. We're too rushed. The whole process has been rushed.
It doesn't help. Like, they're splitting up like the Iconics. The best women's tag team.
Exactly like one of the only established actual women's tag teams. Yeah. And you split them up.
And what have they done? They've stuck Peyton Royce for Lacey Evans and Billie Kay with somebody else every other week. It's like you've got the Riot Squad, but even they didn't get an opportunity, really.
Even they split up now. It's like, I know they're kind of 2/3 have got back together in a way, but it's...
Yeah. I just want to mention quickly about Charlotte on commentary this week. She called Shayna Blazer, which I kind of like. Shayna Blazer instead of Shayna Baszler. But even then, she's been back on Raw one night and she's in 2 different segments. She's on commentary for the first one, which isn't needed. And then she's having her own match later in the show. They could have done that back to back. But instead, they're just like, I've won that. We'll bring you out again in an hour.
They're probably just milking the return, aren't they, at this point?
Yeah, it's just... I don't want to talk about what happened on SmackDown, because obviously this will go up before it. But even then, that makes no sense.
I know what you mean. No,
do you know the results, Ryan?
I know the results, yeah.
Right, so all 4 of us know the results. We're not going to say what it is, but it makes no sense. And again, the women's tag division makes no sense. Right, that's my rant done for Charlotte. Get the title off her. Get them all off her.
I don't think they'll take it straight off her, unless I did read something earlier where apparently Charlotte's going to turn on Asuka at Royal Rumble, which I can see coming.
I can see that.
And then you can transition that into a Raw Women's title feud.
Asuka Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah. But you don't know. It can change, but that's what I read earlier.
Right. We're done with Charlotte because I've had enough. We're going to do a quick TLC recap. Me and Ryan did an in-depth one the other day, but this is for Ryan and Louis to have their says on it. Have you watched it, Louis?
I caught highlights of it today. I caught bits and bats of it, caught all the finishes, caught most of the matches.
Did you catch Booker T asking MVP if he'd had the talk with Cedric Alexander yet? On the pre-show, he's having an interview with MVP and he goes, Cedric Alexander's turning into a man. Have you had to talk with him yet? And I'm like, okay. Did you watch the pre-show, Ryan?
No, I didn't know.
Obviously, the Faces win. We have Big E, Sammy on Christmas Day. That's upcoming. Main show, AJ versus Drew. What did you guys think with the Miz cash-in?
I thought, because obviously I was watching this when it was happening. Oh, no, go on, Louis. I'll let Louis go first.
I liked it. I would have liked to have seen Miz win, if I'm honest.
So would I.
No, just to keep some reputability about the Money in the Bank. You know, I mean, I think it just takes away from it a lot. The fact that it's not been cashed in successfully. It was taken off Otis, given to Miz, and Miz hasn't even used it properly. So it's a bit...
3 of the last 4 cash-ins have failed.
Yeah, Corbin, Braun, Miz.
Shocking. Ryan?
No, yeah, I liked it. Obviously, me and you were talking about it when it was actually happening, because obviously I did watch the first hour of TLC live before, obviously, I just got to bed for work, but yeah, it was quite intriguing, to be fair. Like, you didn't know which way it was going to go. Like, when it comes down, you're like, oh no, is he actually going to win it?
And he's got his fingertips on the belt.
Yeah. But then the thing is, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, Miz, you're meant to be very smart. You know that AJ's got a bodyguard in almost. So
just
it's like,
get up that ladder.
Use your brain. Yeah, use your brain. Like, you should, because he's meant to be a smart heel.
Do you think he's getting the briefcase back?
Well. No.
Louis?
One, I don't want him to, because
I mean, they brought it up on Raw.
Yeah.
The whole, Morrison cashed in and all that sort of stuff. So personally, I'm thinking they might work an angle where he has to have a match to get it back and all that sort of stuff.
But if they do that, I think you're just making a mockery of the briefcase this year even more of a mockery. So it's like, just leave it now. You've cocked up, own it, and just leave it now, because you can't keep cocking it up now, because you cocked up with Otis, but Otis didn't even win it properly, but he dropped it in his hands. And
Styles had that one.
And then you do like your little angle with Otis throughout the year, and then you make him lose it to the Miz, and then Miz goes and does it in the TLC match and loses it as well. Just leave it now till next year. I'm sorry, I'm sick of it now. It does my head in. It's like, why you've made something that's a good thing to have, and you've just ruined it. So for me, just leave it till next year.
We would have had something special. Have the Miz hold it after Mania, because the pay-per-view after Mania is Money in the Bank. Then we have 2 Money in the Banks. That would have been interesting.
You only have a year to cash in, so you could play.
He won it NSL, though, didn't he? Was that not really?
Ooh.
Because he didn't win it at Money in the Bank, did he? Otis.
Oh, I don't know how.
The actual briefcase is from Money in the Bank. It doesn't matter who's got.
I'd like to see him get it back. I'd like to see him get it back, and then after Mania, it's like, Miz, you've got 4 weeks to cash in, or you lose it. And then you have the storyline of Miz has to cash in, but he doesn't know when. He doesn't know when the best opportunity to do it is. And then, he's probably going to lose again if you do that.
And that favours the champion more.
Yeah, because then he knows, like, it's coming at some point in the next 4 weeks.
We could have a cash in. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, what?
Someone could win the belt, and then they could just cash in, take it straight off him.
Oh my god!
During Roman at Survivor Series.
Yeah, and
Roman
cashing in nothing by someone else who cashed in.
What?
Because if you go to Money in the Bank and someone else wins,
you mean
have them cash in and then have have 2 cash-ins on one night on the same belt.
Yeah. Would it last that far?
It depends when they host Money in the Bank, because let's say they have a year to host it. Money in the Bank, if they push that a week earlier or whatever.
Then it's plausible.
I have missed
My issue with that, just to quickly get in there, say if the males win the bank when Miz had it and he in the match was the main event, right? Then the year after, the males no. So the one where
I know what you mean.
Miz wins it is the opening match of that year, but he starts it the year after. But the males match isn't until the main event.
Yeah.
Does it when the match is aired, or what? Does they have then the whole card to cash it in?
But like I was saying, like I don't know the date of Money in the Bank this year. Let's say it was the 20th of April. If
it won't be released yet.
If next year it's the 25th of April, he's got that extra 5 days where there's two champs. So they could get away around that. Carmella, Sasha, Ryan, Louis, what did you think?
I really enjoyed this match. This is the second match on the card, wasn't it? Yeah. I really enjoyed this match. I think Carmella's come on leaps and bounds in the last year or so.
I said to Ryan on the TLC. Sorry, go on.
No, like I said, she has come up leaps and bounds in her character. I do like this character, and I think it was like there was some false finishes in there, like when what were it? When to the outside when I think does Sasha get distracted by
Reginald.
Yeah. And you think she gives him two super kicks after the outside, and then they put him in, and you're like, oh, is this the finish? Is this how she gets it? And then obviously she kicks out.
She gets in the code of silence.
I think the right result. I wouldn't have liked it if Carmella had the belt taken off her straight away, but I think I enjoyed it.
You had Sasha hit the three amigos, followed by a frog splash, and Malakai kicked out. You had Sasha get the bank statement in, and then Mella sort of reverses it into her own. I said to Ryan on the TLC review that I think this is Carmella's best match ever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's up there.
Louis?
Again, I agree. I'm absolutely loving how Sasha is using Eddie Guerrero moves. I think it's great. She's hit the three amigos I think I've seen it like 3 or 4 times in the past. She's hit frog splashes many times, but like not a normal frog splash, like an actual, like a Eddie Guerrero style frog splash. I just think it's great the way that she's paying homage in that way. But Carmella did really well. I like the way that
what's going on?
Like I believe that if Carmella had won that match, if Carmella had won that match, I would have said it was a believable win. Like she put in a good performance that it is believable if she won it.
I'll change my setup.
Next up, we had New Day and Hurt Business. What did you two think of these?
Lesbian. You're watching.
Ryan, be professional. Come on.
Ryan, we'll come to you first. New Day, Hurt Business.
No, that right result again. I feel like if I don't know, having New Day with the belts, it just gets a bit stale after a while. And obviously, they just put the belts on Street Profits, and I think the Hurt Business, it just solidifies them more as a faction, having all the belts.
I put a picture on Twitter the other day of the 4 of them, and the 3 of them have got titles, and it's like, look what MVP has done with these in 1 year.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because I like MVP, and I feel like this role suits him to a T.
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
They're giving the 3 Benjamin, Lashley, and Alexander. I think those 3 would have got lost on the card.
Oh, 100%.
So putting them together and making them like what they are, I think it's great. I think this is one of the things that they've actually done well, the creative team. Well, I think I really do like it.
I think Bobby Lashley might have been all right, but the other 2 were lost. Yeah. What was Shelton Benjamin doing the past few years?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, you forget that he's been back for a few years now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You do forget.
That was his first tag team championship in, what was it, 17? No, it can't be that.
No, it won't be that long. It's a while.
Well, it could have been 2003. Yeah, about 17 years.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What do you think, Louis?
When you put it like that, yeah.
I know.
How'd you get that view?
Okay. Slide across on the.
Really, truth be told, I'm really liking Hurt Business as well, and I'm liking the fact that they're actually getting used well and they're having a bit of a claim put on them and all that sort of business. I think it's really good. Because they could have quite easily just turned into under Retribution and just been not used and disbanded and sort of stuff. So I'm glad that they've got the US title. I'm glad that they've got the tag, but itself is really good.
Up next, it gets announced that the Royal Rumble's going to be shown on the 31st of January, but we can get to that in a bit. Next, we had Team Nia versus Team Asuka with the partners Charlotte Flair. Ryan?
Yeah, I think when you found out that Charlotte was the mystery partner, I think you knew which way this were going. Obviously, I went Nia and Shayna, but this is because I was under the impression that I thought it was going to be Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
So I thought you wouldn't really put the belts on them. But then when it came out, it was Charlotte Flair. It's like, you know what? This is pretty obvious. Charlotte Flair's not going to lose a return match, especially when it's those two on a team. So two probably the best in the business, female-wise. So yeah, it's no surprises to me. This, to be honest.
Louis?
Sorry, Ryan distracted me. What was you discussing?
Team Nia versus Team Asuka, with Charlotte as the mystery partner. What did you think of the match, the result, and the partner?
So the match was okay. I mean, it was good. I always like to see a moonsault to the outside. It's always good to see. Charlotte does it better than anyone else, in my opinion. Asuka did that flying like Rikishi that she does, where she throws her ass at people, and I thought that was great. But just like what Ryan's doing. But yeah, other than that, I just thought it was a generally good match. It was hindered by the fact that they could have pushed someone else. They could have. I really wanted to see Mandy Rose in there, if I'm honest. Or just basically anyone. I mean, at the moment, the women's division is so stacked of people that could be stars, yet aren't getting the correct push. I mean, imagine if Rhea Ripley had come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, or Io Shirai, I know she's the champion at NXT, but imagine that. Like, there's so much potential.
Yeah, what would have been more reason, champion?
The reason I think that Charlotte's a good choice, if it's anybody else, they could have lost the titles and wouldn't be in this situation anyway. But I think that Charlotte's a good mic piece for Asuka.
Yeah, that I do agree with. Because Asuka's better. I mean, as talented as she is, she's not got the mic skills. Like she just.
When Asuka talks in Japanese, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I think she's going to kill me.
It's not her fault.
I love it.
It's not her fault. You just can't help.
But yeah, I think having Charlotte there is definitely going to help with the promos and stuff like that, and it'll help Asuka as well.
Which is also why I think they didn't go all in with Shinsuke Nakamura when he won the Rumble.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that was a big factor why they didn't follow through with it.
But it's all right though, because they've stuck in with Cesaro, so that's going to solve all the issues. Up next is the match that Ryan wants to talk about the most: Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens and Jey Uso.
And Jey Uso. No, like I want this feud to go places, right? Because I am really invested in this feud. I think it's great because obviously we've had the dynamic of Roman as the face, always as the heel back in 2017 for the Universal title, and that with Jericho obviously involved in that as well. So it's kind of the same, but with Jey Uso as well. Obviously not the same kind of storyline, but
it's turned, isn't it?
Yeah, the similarities, and obviously the belt as well. But no, I like the fact that they're giving Jey Uso something to do as well, whilst Jimmy's obviously recovering, because he's back soon as well. I say early next year we'll be back.
I didn't really click. I didn't click that it used to be Owens and Jericho against Roman, whereas now it's Roman and Jey against Kevin.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't think of that before.
It's literally a complete role reversal, and I do like it. And I'm glad that Owens is actually back in the main event scene again, because he's not been in there for a hell of a long time. And he deserves it. He works his ass off, and he's so talented. I know people take the mick out of his because of his weight and stuff, but look what he can do. He can still do, high flying moves and stuff, and he's very, very good.
Same as like Keith Lee and that, like a man of that size to do what he can do is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And Roman's not too shabby as well when it comes to a few dives. Like he's not the greatest, but he can still do it. But I feel like I want this to continue to pass to the Rumble, at least. But I don't think they'll put it on Owens, the belt.
No.
Because I feel like Reigns Goldberg at Mania, perhaps? I think they might go with. I don't know, though. But, no, I am really digging this feud. It's my favourite one to watch at the minute. Either that or Drew. Anything with Drew.
Yeah.
Between them two for me.
Louis?
So, I agree. I mean, I like the feud. I just hope that they do the right things with it. Also, I'm liking having Jay with Reigns. I think that's great. I want to have Jimmy with Reigns as well for a little bit. I was saying this to Ryan before. I want to have Jimmy and Jay with Reigns, and then I want Jimmy and Jay to both turn on Reigns and one of them to take the belt. That would just, for me, be fantastic.
Like, given the storyline and what's happened so far, I could honestly believe Jey Uso as world champion. And you wouldn't have thought that earlier this year, but it's just...
No, definitely not.
And that's the ability to himself and Roman and actual good storytelling. And anyone on the roster can be a star if they just give him a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they had it so that he troubled Roman in the cell. They had it so that it wasn't just a squash. It wasn't just Roman winning. They had Jay with some good moments proving he can actually...
well, even the match before that, the first match he didn't give in, Jimmy threw the towel in. And the second match, the Hell in a Cell one, it was Jimmy getting hurt that made Jay say I quit. So Jay hasn't lost clean.
No,
which is what
you want. What you want if you're going to build someone, you don't want them to you want to have some credibility about them, and that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Whilst also making Reigns look strong as well in the process.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the murder. The Firefly Inferno match.
Murder in the Thunderdome. Murder on the dance
I
floor.
loved it.
Louis, go on. You go first.
I loved it. I loved it so much. I think there's only a few people you can fire and then still try and get you in a mandible claw. And one of them people is the Fiend. The second is Mick Foley, but one of them people is the Fiend. He's just... The character is so good. I mean, he's not even here, and we're still like talking about his segments that he's not even in. With Alexa Bliss, where she showed up, Moment of Bliss on the swing. I just think the whole thing that they're doing right now with them is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, it's good because it gets rid of the Fiend for a bit and means that he doesn't have to do sort of bits here and there, and it can just sort of free up that area. But I'd like to see him come back better than ever, get back in the title picture again. Because I must admit, and Ryan knows this more than anyone else, but I didn't like how he lost the title.
I don't think anyone did.
No, he means the one against Roman.
Oh, okay.
Not Goldberg.
Yeah, no one liked that one.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't like the one against Goldberg. I didn't like either of them. Both times he's been cheating.
I don't think the Fiend needs the championship. Like,
no.
Put him in storylines like this against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before we ask...
The best one to do is once Drew drops the belt, put him in against Drew. I think that'd be a good one just to keep Drew ticking over while he's not in the main picture again for a little bit.
That'd be a good one as well, like Big Star and Big Star. That, would be amazing.
Yeah.
Before I go to Ryan, I want to see the Fiend come back with like his mask a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit scorched, scarred, a little bit like it's been burnt, sort of thing.
Actually sell the segment. The actual,
sell the fact that he has just been burnt alive.
Yeah, not just come back like he's like nothing's happened. Because if that happened to one of us, we'd be, so
we'd be dead, mate. We'd be fucking dead.
Oh yeah, we would. Yeah.
What did you think, Ryan?
Set on fire.
No, I did like the match, and I was saying to Louis actually of the night of TLC before it happened. I said it wouldn't surprise me if it actually main evented, which it did.
Mm.
And that confirmed to me when Drew and AJ opened the show as well. No, I liked it. I'm just a bit surprised that the Fiend lost again. He just seems to be losing a lot recently. I don't know. I know it's Orton, but I feel like Orton's had his career. He's done it all, really. I don't know if he really needed this win. I know it's not a definitive win because he's just setting someone on fire. But
that's all you're doing. You've already set someone on fire.
Yeah, well, it was the image that you have to win the story. You what?
It might have needed to win so that we get a better match and a more meaningful win for the Fiend.
No, I do think overall the Fiend would be big,
power, because it's not a match, you're a brawl at ringside, wasn't it? It wasn't, whoever won it doesn't matter.
In no way do I think that the Fiend is buried or it's hindered him or anything like that. I think that if you're going to beat the Fiend, that's how you do it. You burn him alive. You don't just spear him twice and pin him in Saudi Arabia. You burn him alive, and that's how you beat the Fiend.
Goldberg. That's coming for you.
Exactly. Any other comments about TLC from any of you?
It was all right, wasn't it?
It was all right. After the discussion, do you think, has your mindset changed on it at all, Ryan? Because I know you were very meh about it originally.
Yeah, it's still meh. I think overall it was good. Nothing better than good. Styles versus Drew, Reigns and Owens were fantastic. Hurt Business and New Day, Carmella and Banks. It was just the whatever was the main event that sort of threw me, to be honest with you.
Well, there were three.
Like you said, it wasn't a match; it was a brawl. Yeah. And I think if you go into it thinking it's a brawl, it's better.
I think we ended on a high, to be fair. But I would have liked more of a match out of the main event.
We'll get to the Legends Night in a bit, but I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter about where the Fiend goes from here.
Wait, you have more friends than you.
And I said, my issue with bringing the Legends back is I don't really want to see them. When they come back, what are they going to do?
Every year when ratings are down. Yeah. And it's just, honestly, it's so boring now. I actually couldn't care.
Thank you. Really, do you remember when they came back and buried the Revival, who hadn't lost a match?
Yeah.
So I said, what would you do to make the Legends, like to have them put someone over? And they said, honestly, I've got two ideas. I'd have the Legends put Drew over in the ring and then have Braun return and just kill them all.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Braun.
And I was okay. And his second idea, Braun's on Raw because he got called last but not least and then kicked off.
Yeah.
Have someone take out the Legends one by one all night.
Yeah, Retribution.
Have the Legend killer Randy Orton get blamed. Have Retribution get blamed. Play it off as like a whodunit, and then have a have the Fiend return in a few weeks. But like I said, scarred and like you can tell he's been burnt alive. But Louis mentioned it about the Alexa Bliss segment. I thought that was amazing. What did you guys think?
No, I really enjoyed it. I was surprised that Bliss didn't actually get involved in the Orton Fiend match at TLC. I thought that was a given, but maybe there was, I don't know, maybe not getting involved probably made it a bit better. I don't know. No, but it is nice. Like, I do like this role that Bliss has got. Like, I think she suits being with the Fiend for whatever reason. I just feel she's got that look and that kind of character within her, and I do really like it. And obviously, like everything she's done with Orton's been really good as well.
It's a credit to Alexa Bliss because she can change her character when needed, and she can play it off. Like, do you remember when she was like, she's the first superstar to hold the women's Raw and SmackDown titles, not at the same time, but just in general. And it's like she hasn't had a championship, a main one like that in years. But they give her this new character and she smashes it out of the park. Louis, what do you think about Alexa Bliss and this whole segment?
I think Alexa Bliss at the moment is doing exactly what she needs to do. She's building up hype for the Fiend. She's filling a space that was empty before, because the Fiend on his own, Bray Wyatt works better with someone or in a group. For example, the Wyatt family. I believe he was in Nexus.
Husky Harris.
He's Harris, yeah.
Before the tattoos and the jackness. It's a good thing to do because Alexa wasn't really doing anything at the time. So to shove Alexa with the Fiend, to me, is a fantastic idea. And it gives it that whole, Sister Bliss. I just think it's great. I really like how Alexa's playing the character as well. She started using her own version of Sister Abigail, which I think is great.
Yeah.
She started doing all kinds of things that you just wouldn't see from her before. And I think it's absolutely, I just think it's amazing the way that they've used her, because it could have gone so badly, but they've just kept it perfect.
And that's a credit to her as well, of how she's pulled it off.
She's played the character so well.
Ryan, where do you stand on Alexa Bliss and what's going on?
It's all pretty much been said. A great role. She's perfect for it. I'm glad to see her actually getting used in a way that's sort of main event-ish again. I just think her and the Fiend, the chemistry is just be daft not to put them together. She makes the Fiend much as the Fiend makes her. Yeah,
they work very well together. Before we get on to Legends Night, Louis, did you watch AEW Dark last night?
So, this morning, I sat down and I caught all the highlights and all the rest of it, but I was too half asleep, I'm not going to lie to you, to watch the full show.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The bit I want to talk about is the SCU segment in the waiting room. Have you seen that?
I caught bits of it, and I thought it was really good. I really like SCU, it must be said.
Their promo is contender for promo of the year, I think. I think it was absolutely amazing. This episode that we're recording right now is going up on the 24th, Christmas Eve, which is Thursday, but we are recording it on the Wednesday, so NXT and AEW haven't happened yet, so that'll get discussed next week. But yeah, let's get into Legends Night. Anybody want to take the lead on this? Does anybody have anything straight away that they want to say? Ryan, go on, Ryan.
I love it. I love the fact that it's 2020 or 2021, and we get these legends back. You can't like snuff your nose at seeing Ric Flair in the ring again. Granted, they needs to be used right, and I don't agree when they shove them all in the ring at the same time. It's like, oh, look, legends, enjoy. They need to be used to put up the new guys, have them mixing with them, yeah, but you can't. You've got Hulk Hogan, you've got Ric Flair, Trish Stratus. The list goes on. These guys have paved the way. You can't disrespect that. They belong there as much as the new guys. They deserve the airtime. They've put in the years and years. They're legends. You can't. And they bring in ratings, not as much as USA needs the ratings right now, because they shouldn't have done this to get ratings, but they are, so we should deal with the hand that we stuck with. And the legends, you can't stop your nose at Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan or Kurt Angle, for God's sake.
I completely agree with they deserve to be there as much as the new guys. But my issue is they're never used right.
Oh, no, I get that.
Raw 25, Raw 1000, Raw Reunion, SmackDown 1000. Like, I haven't got any good memories of them brought back. I think it was Raw 25. They did the whole 24/7 stuff, and the title got changed to, like, I don't know, Alundra Blaze, and then Ted DiBiase bought it, and I thought that was good because they're not impacting any stories negatively. They're there, they're doing their own thing, and I think it wasn't Raw 1000, it was Raw Reunion potentially, and they're all playing poker backstage. Like, they're keeping to their own, they're not getting involved.
Raw 25.
But then Raw 25, you've got DX in the ring burying the Revival. The Revival were amazing on NXT. Came up, never lost a match. Got squashed by the club thanks to help from DX, and that was it then. Just ruined them. Louis, where do you stand on it?
I like how they've worked it in the way that I like that they've got mid-card legends coming back and they've got main card legends coming back. They've got your big names, your Trish Stratus, your Hulk Hogan, your Ric Flair, right? And then they've also got Boogeyman, Carlito, people like that can do the jokey, funny segments.
Hillbilly Jim.
And get all that sort of stuff. You've got Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and Trish Stratus who can change people's careers and the way that they're going if used correctly. Because there's that much respect for mainly Ric Flair, I believe, but there's that much respect for what Ric Flair does to people's careers. I mean, Evolution, right? He's in Evolution. The whole faction is regarded as one of the best of all time. And two of the people that were in the faction hadn't really been heard of before it came about. You've got Hulk Hogan, who came and had an absolute, well, in my eyes, a fantastic match against The Rock at WrestleMania a few years ago. Well, a long time ago now. But it's just the way that they're used. Trish Stratus had a great match against Charlotte Flair. Not even that long ago, I don't believe.
No.
But it's just the way that they're used. If they just come in and they talk to each other and then go out, I'd be annoyed. But if they're actually used, like, you could have a heel turn. Like, for example, as your friend said, where they have them all taken out. I think that's great.
Yeah. I think that talking about it has definitely changed my opinion on it. At first, I was like, I don't want to see them. But that's literally because of when I've seen them in the past, they've made the product worse for me. But it's all about how they get used. And I, for one, would love to see Carlito come out and be like, yeah, I'm in the Rumble. I'll see you there. And then just like, leave. Ryan.
Can I just,
go on.
Before we go to Ryan, I just say one thing. I don't like the way as well that they advertise them. At Survivor Series, we were told a week before, you're going to see the Bone Street crew. You're going to see Kane, Big Show, Hulk Hogan, he wasn't there, but Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. But I'm not being funny. They were there for 5 minutes. We saw them come down the ramp in the ring, and then they went.
And I have a massive issue with that as well.
To get people involved.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with it.
Because that's the Undertaker's farewell. Yeah, backstage they probably did say bye and all that and, have a catch-up. In the ring, they didn't even see him. So that was literally, look at all these names you're going to see if you tune in on Sunday. You tune in, you see them all come down one by one, and then they're gone. And it's like, my other major issue with that is, believe it or not, there is still a pandemic going on. And these older guys are more at risk. So sticking them all together in a ring. But yeah, it's all about how they get used. Ryan, what do you think?
I just think they keep doing it right. When you're bringing legends back, I agree that they deserve to be more than others, but you're also taking away TV time for other wrestlers that are there now. And like, I bring it back to 10, 15 years from now, who are you going to bring back? If you're going to keep making these legends fit in on this TV time, then you obviously, in 10, 15 years time, you're not going to be able to do that again because you're wasting TV time on them. Like certain ones I don't mind bringing back, like obviously Ric Flair. Carlito's a good one because we don't really get to see him much. But I just feel like you listen all these up, and that's going to take a hell of a lot of TV time if you're going to stagger it out. And personally, I don't think it's good. Like you should not be having to rely on legends to boost ratings. No. They should be a bonus. You should already have the rating to bring that back. It's a joke, honestly, and I won't change my mind on it. It's a joke. I'm not excited for it.
The outcome for me, I think, if they come out and they merge the storylines with the current guys, and they promote the stories and the talent and all that, perfect. If they come out, put themselves over, I don't want to see that. I really do not want to see that.
It's the same every time they come back. It just drains you out now. Like, I'm not for it at all.
Like SmackDown really 1000, the only thing I can remember from that is Evolution. And that was all about themselves. Now, there was one line that stuck with me, and it was Batista saying, "You've done everything except beat me." And that then next year on Raw, he attacks Ric Flair to get Triple H's attention. Yeah, as good as that one line was to set up that, you didn't need it. That time could have been used to promote, I don't know who champion was back then, Roman Reigns. It could be used to promote the talent they've got. It just depends how they use it, and I hope they use them right, to be honest.
I'll hold my hands up if they actually come out and they actually, like you say, they merge storylines together and they don't just put themselves over. But honestly, I can't see anything but them just putting themselves over.
I'm not looking forward to it, but I hope I'm wrong.
What I mean, right? If you're bringing legends back, like say, if they didn't do it so often, like, Ric Flair's coming back, I've not seen him in a while. But
We've seen him on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know he was there at TLC on Sunday.
Yeah. So it really does matter.
I can't think back to time where they used it right.
Yeah.
I can't honestly think where they brought a legend back to the good. I really can't.
You shouldn't be bringing them back to boost ratings. Your ratings should already be there. If you have good writers and actually use your talent that you've got, your ratings wouldn't be in the mud.
Ryan, I think Ryan has just clicked on the same thing I have. Go on.
Speaking of writers, I literally found out the other day, when you apply to be a writer for them, if you're a fan, you get blacklisted. They ask for soap opera writers and film writers who have no knowledge of WWE.
Well, what I was going to say, Ryan said he can't remember the last time that legends got brought back to be used effectively. Again, one sticks out to me. Well, more than one. You got Stone Cold and Becky Lynch interacting. Yeah. The Rock interacting with Becky Lynch. Yeah. But the one that sticks out is The Fiend and Mick Foley.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. If you do stuff like that, all for it.
The Fiend against Mick Foley, The Fiend against Kane, The Fiend against Kurt Angle. They've all been...
Jerry Lawler?
I guess.
Jerry Lawler, yeah. If they use them properly, then that's fine. But if they come out and promote themselves, I don't want to see it.
Oh, I don't. It's honestly...
It's like when Lars Sullivan came out. Was it the day after Mania 35 when Kurt Angle were doing his speech and he just decimated Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Again after that, but that was good.
I love how he's just compared all the legends to. It's like when Lars Sullivan came out. Yeah, I don't want to see that either. But let's talk about something that we all want to see, and that is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, baby.
Let's get some early predictions. Men's, women's, who's winning?
Fucking hell.
If you had to say right this second who's winning, who'd you go for?
Bianca Belair.
And why is it Lars Sullivan?
Yeah, why is it Lars Sullivan?
What was it you said, Louis?
I said Keith Lee and Carmella. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Keith Lee, Carmella. Louis, Ryan, you said Bianca Belair and...
You have to circle back to me for the men's. It's really, really
Ryan?
hard.
Oh, honestly, I couldn't tell you for either one. I've not really thought. To be fair, I've not really thought about the female one. To be honest with you, although I'd say Charlotte Flair, but she won it last year, so it's not going to be her. There's no Becky, Bayley, I guess. But would you want it on Bayley? Oh, I've got a shout as well. Actually, now I've just thought of it.
Ryan Taylor, you go first.
For my female, I'm going to say, it's not a final prediction, but I'm thinking Alexa Bliss.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then for the... Oh, go on.
Right, so my males, hear me out now. I've got actually knowledge about this as well. Right, the Slammies tonight, this guy had won 2 Slammies.
True.
They didn't accept the rewards. They're keeping him off screen, and they're doing that on purpose because he's going to come back at the Rumble and he's going to win it. You don't want to show him on the Slammies because it's like, oh, he's coming back any minute. He's going to be unexpected again. 1 year after he returned, Edge is going into that Rumble.
I said that the other day.
He drew at Mania.
I said Edge come back at the same number that he came back this year.
Why else would they not show him? Because he's getting ready.
Yeah, I suppose. For me, it's Bianca Belair for the women, and it's got to be Keith Lee for the men. But that's just because I predicted him.
Honestly, it's Keith Lee or Biggie. I was so certain it was Keith Lee.
But even then,
now you see these rumours coming out. You see these rumours coming out about him being sent to the performance centre and stuff, and it just makes you think twice.
See, I have that thing. Vince is hiring a guy. He doesn't send him back to the performance centre. Keith Lee's not. We're a month away, and Keith Lee's been sent back now. Yeah. He's not winning the Rumble. Not yet.
I was thinking earlier about John Morrison for some reason. Don't know why. Why? I don't get why Vince McMahon. I know it's not him, it's the people that work for him, whatever. I don't know why he'd go out there, approach John Morrison and be like, I want you on my show. Bring him in, have him get squashed at the Rumble by Brock Lesnar, and stick him with The Miz. I just don't... I don't know. Why would you go out and find talent like that just to waste them?
So AEW didn't get him.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Ryan? Or are you good to head on to the bold prediction for the week?
Oh, that's a shout. Let's do that.
My bold prediction, I've actually changed it recently because originally I was going to say by the end of 2021, we will have an intergender match in WWE. And I'm not saying a Nia Jax enter the Rumble or anything like that. I'm talking a promoted male versus female superstar. Could be for a title, could not. Not talking 24/7 in the back or whatever, like a proper one. But then I changed it. And I think will get.
Bloody hell, it's Josh.
I think we'll get one Rumble, and it'll be men and women. That's my bold prediction. We'll get one Rumble.
So you think it'll be 15 men, 15 women?
Potentially, because where are you going to find 30 women, especially if they're not going to NXT?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And I think that by doing that, you've got to choose the best ones. You've got to handpick the best ones. If you wanted to, you can have 2 winners, 1 male, 1 female. Round it up to 40 in total. I don't know. I don't know the logistics, but I think that if you do intergender, you can do it cinematic, like something I've mentioned before that I really want. And I think it could be more fun. I just want an intergender Royal Rumble. And then we'd have to sit through 2 either then. Like, we all love the Rumble, we do. But when they bring out the women's one and there's no women on there that are going to win it, because like this year, there was 4 or 5 potentials? Like, realistic. Everyone else in there, not a chance. Like, the males one, there was only going to be 3 or 4 actual contenders, but the rest of them could potentially win. Like, that, like, Alita's not going to win the Royal Rumble. You know that, like, I don't know, Mia Yim's not going to win. But an Adam Cole might. It's just, I think the men have got more options, so I want an intergender Rumble. We'll go to Louis first. What's yours?
Bold
I haven't got one. Bold prediction.
No, so I actually do have one. And this is a point that you brought up in the little chat we've got. And it's it's a really bold one. And mine is that Sonny Kiss will hold a male single title in AEW by the end of next year.
The end of 2021.
Because, he was got in by Brandy Rhodes. She did this whole like thing where she hauled in a load of wrestlers for them, and he's so good, he's so athletic, but they just job him out all the time.
I thought Rusev was going to break his back last night on Dark.
No, honestly, they disgrace it because it's just so annoying. Because he is so good, and he's in a tag team with Joey Janela at the moment, and they're really good. So it could be I'm going to change it. It could be a tag title. Him and Joey Janela could get the tag titles.
So yours is Sonny Kiss to hold an AEW title, or just a title in general by the end of the year?
To hold an AEW title.
Okay. Ryan's, who wants to go first? None of you.
I'll go
nice.
if you want.
Go on,
I'll go. Well, my bold prediction, I've just thought of it on the spot tonight, because I haven't really thought about it. I'm going to say Dominic Mysterio to hold the belt by the end of next year.
Ooh.
Are you including the 24/7 belt?
That's a belt in WWE. So yes,
that's an easy way out. That is though.
No. I'm taking it. I mean, an actual like IC, US,
United States,
NXT. You could go down to NXT. Won't rule it out. So any obviously not 24/7, but
cruiserweight. I don't know how much he weighs, but
I think that is a bold prediction. I don't think it will happen.
Are you including tag in that as well?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
I want to see Ray and Dom tag champs at Mania.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I can see that happening. So I can see, but I'm guessing like a year on from now, I can see it possibly.
I like that. I do like that. Ryan?
Yes, I've thought man on the spot again. But I think by the end of 2021, Carly O will be signed to a new WWE deal.
Ooh.
Like, it's nothing major, but I reckon it could happen.
Is that an in-ring deal?
It's like MVP has.
Yeah. Okay. So not like backstage or anything like that. Like it has to be a performer contract, not a legend one either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in-ring. Yeah.
Okay. Well, has anybody got anything else they want to add about what's happened this week, what's coming up in the next week? Anything else anyone wants to talk about? Shayna Baszler, maybe?
There is one bugbear that I've got. It's when you've got a main event title picture and then you just shove them all in a 6-man tag. Honestly.
You're talking about every single week on Raw.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, honestly, it does my head in.
Hey,
Like,
Ryan,
why?
Because the legends are going to fix it.
You are?
Don't worry though, because the legends are going to fix it.
No, they're not. They're going to make it worse. Right?
We're going to get the same 6-man tag, but with Hulk Hogan as the ref, and that's going to change everything.
Ric Flair is the guest ring announcer.
Have it 4-on-4. Have Ric Flair team with Drew, and have I don't know, Big Show team with the others. He hasn't been heel in a while.
Oh, if we do that, we'll bring Kane back and all.
Why not?
Ric Flair's been itching to get back in the ring. You can see it in his eyes. He wants to get back in there. He's at this moment in time. He'll take you in there, see if he has to. He'll have anyone. He'll just as long as he can get back in the ring, he wants to get back in there. You can tell. That
tag match, Team Hogan versus Team Flair. You know that they both wanted that to be Hogan versus Flair, but Vince was like, "Yeah, it's not happening."
Not happening. No, but
it would have been the world's slowest match. They would have literally been running at each other in what looked like slow motion to us.
Undertaker and Goldberg were on that show. That is something else that I want to touch on quickly. Boxing Day, this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. GMT, I'm going to be facing my TLC punishment. I'm going to be live streaming my reactions on YouTube to the Greatest Royal Rumble, DX versus Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker Goldberg, and the Punjabi Prison match. That thought is haunting me the most. That's the one I'm really not. Yeah, the Greatest Royal Rumble. At least you've got Titus World Slide and stuff like that.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
DX obviously got Shawn Michaels match, even though it's not. Yeah. Undertaker Goldberg. I don't think it's that long, so I can
quick time.
Yeah, but that Punjabi one. Oh, no.
It is a long one.
It is a long one. Next week, what are we doing? Are we recording it on a Friday as usual?
I think we're doing Wednesday.
Do it next Wednesday as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so for next week, this week's NXT would have happened.
And then back to normal after that.
Okay, so it'll be up again next Thursday, which means it'll be out of date for the NXT, but we'll cover this NXT and AEW tonight. If nobody else has got anything out to add, I'm going to end it here. Great. So thank you for watching. We are on Twitter at PredictionBold. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Got a Facebook page. I'll stick most of it in the comments wherever you are. So please go and check us out on the other socials, and we will see you later.